Hello, I am Yogini Sunita, and this is Meditation, Yoga, and Stuff podcast. I believe my dharma or my life's purpose is to share my understanding of meditation, yoga, and Ayurveda, holistic healing science of India. I make these amazing wisdoms accessible and adaptable for present times. So let's start.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. Today I am going to talk a little bit about how to boost our energy with understanding of wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda. As I have been explaining in my past few podcasts, how importance of daily routine in Ayurveda, it is very important to have our daily routines. This is very important to have some regularity in our life. Our brain works very interestingly. We need some regularity and some spontaneous activity. So we're going to start with regular activity. So what if this regular activity is a positive activity, which is going to impact your life, your energy level, your optimal health in very positive sense? So this way you can decide. There are many options in Ayurveda. You choose what is going to work for you and start your day in the morning at a regular time. So see if you can find maybe 6 a.m. or before that or after that. Choose what is going to work for you. And starting your day bright and early is going to give you that energy throughout the day. Initially, if you're not habit of getting up early, it may feel little bit drastic change. But if you maintain your routine of sleeping on time at night, winding down and sleeping on time, you will have restful sleep and you will wake up early in the morning. So your rhythm of your system, we work with the nature and never against it. So just tuning into that there are rhythms around us, and we acknowledge these rhythms of the nature, where there are day and night, different seasons. So we tune our body with this rhythm. We become one with this rhythms happening around us. And also there is a rhythm of our system, which is our breath, our body, our what's happening in our different systems in our body. So tuning into that. So how do we do that? How do we understand that? So wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda is all about taking responsibility of our own health into our hands and tuning into these rhythms which we have. So what is the obvious rhythm for our system is tuning into nature is one. The second most important rhythm is our breath. You may have noticed that how our breath changes with our emotions. If we are very happy, the breath is different. If we are doing labored work, the breath is different. If we are sad, the breath is different. So you start noticing these rhythms. And also just regulating the breath just for a few moments in your day is going to create a very positive impact on our rhythm of our breath. So for example, when we do the pranayama practices, which is pranayama means prana is the energy of our system, which is not just our system, but also universe has prana. This is understanding from yoga, wisdom of yoga. In our system, the prana is represented as our breath, because we can connect with inhale and exhale, but prana is everywhere in our system. Prana is the reason why we are functioning a living human being. Similarly, the universe has prana. Universe also has its rhythm. It is sometimes called spandana. In Sanskrit, the spandana is similar, that universe also breathes. It has its own movement, a rhythm. And so we have this rhythm as well. So, what happens when we pay attention to this rhythm? That we move our awareness inwards for just few moments, and even just those few moments turning our awareness inwards is going to boost our energy. Now, seemingly simple, and you think, oh, what's that? That just few moments when we tune in, we are actually tuning into our rhythm. How is your breath at this moment? Tuning into that. And whenever you remember, when you start tuning into your breath, you're actually tuning into your rhythm. So start noticing your breath. In the morning, just sit down for a few moments and notice your breath. That could be your meditation practice. Noticing rhythm of your breath will change your life. You will start noticing that our breath has a tremendous power to help us to heal. So I suggest that observing your breath is beautiful. And include that into your energy boosting thing. And this doesn't mean that you take a big puffing breath, or it's not about that. It's just noticing the breath. Maybe if the breath, when we start noticing the breath, it is going to slow down. Observe that also. Do not interfere. Let it be. Just notice, just observe. So that's one way to start boosting your energy. This will, the noticing the breath will still your mind. It will energize your system, because when we notice our breath, it is going to naturally deepen without us doing any effort, and it will oxygenate our system beautifully. And so the gases exchange in our system happens after our inhale and our exhale. So when this gases exchange happen after exhale, um, the oxygen goes into our cells, and it energizes our cells. So that's what we are tuning into. This, we don't have to take big strong puff breath. We have to just observe the breath and let the wisdom of the body take over. Let your somatic awareness take over. It will happen. The breath will do what is right for your system. So no need to stress anything. Just allow the breath to be. Now, the next thing, energy boosting tip is spending some time in morning light, morning sunlight. What it does is it energizes our system. Again, we are tuning with the Mother Nature, we're tuning with the sun. We are connecting with the sun. This helps our body to energize so beautifully. We have woke up now in the morning. We have done our breathing practice, awareness practice, and going for a walk, meditating, or any movements like nature walk is the best thing you can do in the morning, and let that sunlight seep in. And this is going to help you increase so many positive things in our life. Like there are so much research has done that how the sunlight can bring the positive effect. And in this modern world, we are not that much connected with the nature. We'll cover our body to and even the nails and head, and we try to protect ourselves with sunscreen and still things like that. When the sun is harsh, that is understandable, and we have to do that. But in the morning, when the sun rays are not that harsh, if we can go into for nature walk and let the sunlight seep in, that is really beautiful to energize our system. And then again, the exercise happen when we go for the walk. Any light active exercise is really good for our system. Let the blood flow. It also energizes our system on very positive level. How much exercise? The suggestion is, there are many, we'll find a lot of research and a lot of things. Ayurveda talks about going on a walk. Walking is very important. Jogging and things like that may not be right for certain ages. So choose the activity which is right for you. There are also activities like asana practices for your constitution, your body type, your need. Choosing the right practices, working with each and every joint in your body is really amazing to keep the joint health. So yoga has these series called Pavana Muktasan series, which is joint freeing series, sometimes called Sukshma movements. All these things are basically what we do is we work with each and every joint. It may take just 10 to 15 minutes, and this activity is really, really beautiful. So finding the activity which you feel drawn to, it shouldn't feel a chore, it should feel really positive. Your body should sing when you do this activity. So something on those lines, choosing that kind of activity. And if you can do it outside in in a beautiful morning sun, then cherry on top. That is really good. The next thing also keeping yourself physically active. So if you have a job which you have to sit all day, every 1 hour or so, maybe get up, walk around, and then come back and sit down. This helps our system because we are not really designed to sit down. Human body is designed to move, so we need to move our whole body. Also, there has to be that balance. What is too much? Finding that too much activity and too little activity, finding that balance just right, what is right for you is very important. Then another thing we can add into is our food. So according to Ayurveda, our food is medicine, and how we absorb, not just eating, but absorption of the food. You may eat really balanced diet, but if it is not getting absorbed, if your digestive fire is weak, and it's not going to do anything. So choose food which is going to help you to digest into your system. Food for your system, which will again, this is where wisdom of Ayurveda is very important, where Ayurveda understands that not all constitution needs similar foods. Everyone is a unique fingerprint of divine, and we need different food according to our system. And also, this doesn't mean that all vata or constitution. Ayurveda has 3 constitutions: vata, pitta, kapha. All vata constitution will need similar food. There are rough guidelines, but you need to understand your system first. You need to tune in what really works for me, and tune into that, or do Ayurveda consultation with Ayurveda person around you, or you can contact me. I'm happy to do a mentoring session on yoga and Ayurveda. The practices given in this session are life transforming. These are simple tweaks, but these tweaks are designed for your system. So this will help you to bring more optimal health in your life. But say, for example, if you don't have time for that, then how can we do our specific dosha related activities or things to boost our energy? So for Vata person, the air and space element is strong in Vata person. That means their mind is very busy. The thoughts are constantly running in the mind. Vata persons speaks very fast. Everything is irregular. The digestive system is irregular. A lot of constipation and things like that. That's the Vata imbalance happening there. So Vata person needs to bring in more foods which are cooked foods rather than eating salads, eating soups and cooked food. is going to reduce the vata. Also, there is a lot of dryness in vata person's body, skin, hair. So in that situation, we supplement it with oil, so oil massages. You can also add a teaspoon of good raw oil into your soup, and you can have that. Again, you need to obviously communicate with your doctor if that is right for you. And also regularity in meals and activities in the life is very important for Vata person. This will help to kindle the digestive fire. The regularity is going to help. Vata person is, the mind is very active. So bringing calming practices to help bring stillness and calmness in your life will really help. Now let's look at Pitta person. So Pitta person has a fire and a water element in them. When these two elements come together, there is steam happens in nature. So there is a lot of fiery quality in this constitution. So Vata person, Pitta person needs to reduce the fiery food in their life. So the spices, the strong taste, things like that, they need to reduce that in their life. The metabolism is quite strong for this kind of constitution. So they can eat anything, but that start reducing when they hit certain age. So around 40, they're still eating the food they're used to, but then they start putting on weight. For Pitta person, finding that balance, they will have hundreds of projects and they will be constantly learning. This is their way of very intellectual being and natural born leaders. So and these are doers. So what Pitta person needs to understand is bringing in a more, again, peaceful practices and also feeling of gratitude in your life. So bringing that, helping, that will really help. And also the physical activity Pitta person will choose is going to be really go, really active, really strong. But I suggest that at least once a week have practices like restorative yoga, where you're holding poses for longer period of time, but with a lot of support. So you allow the props to hold you into certain positions. And this particular practice is absolutely beautiful to bring peace and calm into the life. So Pitta person can bring these kind of practices. Vata person will also be very benefited by restorative practice. Now, restorative practice, another practice like Tai Chi will also work. Basically, Pitta person needs to slow down and smell the roses. That's very important, really tuning into, okay, one project finished, not just jumping to the next projects. Acknowledging that you have finished this project successfully, celebrating in positive sense, really giving that pat on your back, so that will help you to let the gratitude sink in that you had done this, and then move to next projects. That's my suggestion. All this will help you to bring that stillness, calmness, peace in your life. So we are finding balance through correct yoga and Ayurveda practices, and that will boost your energy. Now, Kapha person is, it's very difficult for them to wake up in the morning. Usually that's the situation, but having said that, you can train yourself to wake up in the morning. They need a warm food. Digestive system metabolism is very slow for Kapha person. You may have heard the statement, some people say that, even I'm standing next to the food and I'll put on weight. So this is usually Kapha type, where people put on weight really quickly. So Kapha person needs to eat more things which will increase the digestive fire. The issue is their digestive fire is very low. So things like ginger and cloves and things like that will increase their, the spices will help them to rekindle the digestive fire. And also, moderation is the key. Kapha person usually like sweet and fatty stuff, but that is going to dampen your digestive fire. And side effect of that is going to dampen your energy as well. So that you will have low energy. Kapha person needs to move, even though they don't like to move. Movement is your key. Once Kapha person understand this, they will really understand that importance of the movement is very, very helpful to keep that energy going and build the energy and keep it going. So this is how Ayurveda and yoga understand plant-based food for all doshas is good. So as far as possible, eating plant-based food. Recently, one of my clients told me that she, have those meal boxes, and she ordered plant food, and all it came was the menu was quite nice, but it had all tofu. And we are still stuck into this modern understanding that we need a protein, and so this particular meal boxes had a lot of tofu, which actually toppled her health. So it was really that much of protein. Do we really need it? That was the question, because this particular meal box had tofu in everything. It was chunks and chunks of tofu. We can make vegetarian food very tasty, and it very nourishing. So finding right recipes for your need, and also if you're eating non-vegetarian, that's okay too. Just making sure that you are eating right proportion, you are digesting that food according to your dosha. So finding balance, basically, that will help you energy. So after every meal, notice like how do you feel, tune in. And once we start tuning in, we start noticing that, obviously processed food doesn't do anything for our system. It's basically eating as good as eating cardboard. So obviously plant-based food is the way to go. Sometimes we can't avoid processed food, but so finding balance of eating cooked, warm, healthy food for our system. Sometimes we need snacks and sometimes we don't need snacks. So depending on your dosha, you need snacks. So depending on what's happening in your system, you may need or may not need snacks. So listen to your body. Also tuning into the gut health. So Ayurveda talks very much about the Agni, the digestive fire of our system. When our gut is functioning well, we have energy flowing well in our body. That is Ayurveda's understanding. So our gut, so Ayurveda has this understanding of eating yogurt or curd regularly will replace or balance our gut. Or there are certain foods like tridoshic food which will balance our system. So finding the foods which are nourishing, which are helpful, which give you joy when you eat. Let's not forget the joy of eating. If we keep constantly calculating the calories, we are actually moving away from the joy of eating. So connecting your relationship with the food, how you prepare food. Is there joy involved when you prepare food, or is it one of the chores? If you're ordering food from outside, what is where the food is coming from? If you are making it home, again, still where are the ingredients coming from? Tuning into these things and really becoming aware. In these wisdoms of yoga and Ayurveda, we take responsibility of our health. So we also are responsible of what we are putting in our body, putting on our body, and what we are doing with our daily activity. This all makes impact into our energy, the reservoir of energy of our system. We are being made out of energy. So, when we start doing practices which enhance our energy, for example, stillness practices, breathing practices, food choices, all this is going to impact our energy positively. A good asana class around you will also help that. What to look for asana class is basically how you feel afterwards. Do you feel energized? If the class is for evening time, you should feel widening down so that you can go to sleep. If class is in the morning time, you should feel energized and active. So tune into that. What is happening in your body? Really tune into rhythm of your being. And these rhythms are very, very important. So coming back to how to increase our energy level is tuning inwards is the key. That what really works for me. And a lot of time we look for answers outside, but all the answers are within you. Initially, you may need a guide. So you may need a guide to understand, okay, the guide will help you to go in right direction. Once you have done few sessions with your mentor or guide, then you can sort it out. You will understand yourself better. So find a teacher or mentor or wellness coach who can help you. I'm here as well. You can connect with me by emailing me through my website. And I'm happy to help any way I can. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate. Oh, before I go, there are also two cookbooks, practical cooking for summer and practical cooking for winter. Are out there. They're on sale now, so you can go to my website, and these are ebooks, e-learning, and I have given a lot of Ayurveda tips. Recipes are there, and also you can modify that recipe according to your need. The recipes are mostly tridoshic, so that it will work for everyone in the family. I hope this helps, the podcast helps you to move towards your optimal energy. Thank you for being here. Keep shining.
Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that you're taking this time out of your day. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye for now.